Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Toby Rosario, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the best skip tracing places, resources you guys can use to skip trace your numbers. You're driving for dollars or any numbers you're trying to get a hold of the owner. So I'm going to go some paid, more expensive places, websites, resources. Um, I'm going to go with the ones I personally use. So TLO, from my experience, is the best. uh, best best data. The issue with TLO is that it's very expensive. Uh, you pay around $1 per search, um, and also it's very hard to get accepted. You have to have a registered LLC for at least 2 years. They actually do an on-site inspection by a third party where you need to have certain requirements in order for you to get approved. Um, you would need just a couple things, like you would need a secure location, file cabinet with a locking mechanism. Let's see, a shredder, password protected computer. So there's a lot of things you need in place to get accepted. And from my experience, well, recently they made some changes so that from what I hear is that they're not accepting real estate investors. So it's really hard to get accepted. If you can get accepted, it is really good data. It's by credit agencies, so it's really accurate data. Um, so you're gonna be paying. I think now they do it like a minimum $25. So you have to do 25 searches a month or pay $25, whatever the case is, and then it's $1 per search after that. And I know they do offer a batch service. Um, so you would have to go through the process to get approved for that. So again, this is the best data I found. I personally use it. I no longer have it, but I did have it for several years. It's just really hard to get approved, essentially. So there's other alternatives to that. So this is a new one I've tested out. It's been good so far. It's called Need to Skip. Pricing is actually very reasonable. Let's go in there. So you pay about 35 cents. You need a minimum of 100 records, 100 to 1,000 records, and it's 35 cents per record. So if you do 100 addresses, you're gonna pay $35, which is not bad. Um, which is actually really good because I was paying $1 per search when I was using TLO. So and from what I've only done one data. I've only submitted 100 records, I think, for this, but the data's been good so far, as far as the correct phone numbers. So this is pretty good right here, as far as per record price. Then you got the other packages: economy 30 cents, 25 cents, so on and so forth. For good data, you gotta be paying anywhere between 25 cents up to $1. Um, so so that's what you need to know. You're going to be paying anywhere from 25 cents up to $1. $1.50 I think is the max, and that's pretty high. So another one I've tried is REISKip. Let's look what they have here. So I've tried this one, and this one is 24 cents if you do 1,000. So which it makes more sense to do that, to do 1,000. If you have bulk, it makes more sense to do that. So just wait till you have 1,000 records, and you'll pay $240. Um, uh, and then the other ones, so you need so it says here minimum 250. So 250, you're gonna be paying 45 cents for 250 records. Let's see what the math is for that. 250 times 45 cents. So you're gonna pay 112. So it makes a lot more sense just to have 1,000 plus records. If you want to do bulk, you save a ton of money. And from what I found, this data is actually pretty good as well. It's actually pretty accurate. The only issue I had, I sent in, you're gonna get about 60%, 70% return. What that means is if you submit 1,000 records, only you're gonna get about 600 phone numbers. It doesn't always. It's not 100% guaranteed, as with need to skip. You're not going to get 100% on every record you submit. So I just want you to be aware of that. Keep that in mind when you're submitting these records. It's usually 60 to 75% return rate or accuracy as far as when you submit a list, expect to get 60 to 75% of the numbers. So if you submit 100 records, expect to get 60 to 75 records, phone numbers for the records you submitted. Okay, it's not always gonna. It's not like you submit 1,000 records and you're gonna get 1,000 phone numbers. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So just be aware of that, because I know a lot of people do it, and they get disappointed when they get only 60% of the numbers. But just focus on those 60% of the numbers and start making dials to those. So this is a good one. These two I've tested. These three, TLO, Need to Skip, and REI Skip. These are the two new ones that I found out about, and so far the data has been really good, really accurate. So I would give those a try. I'll have the links down below. And then also I've heard of white pages, but you would have the premium that you would have to pay. Not sure what that is. Not sure how much it is, but I know they have a paid version, and I've heard people have some results with that. I personally never tried it, me personally, so I can't speak to the accuracy of it. But I've heard of some people use the paid version and get some results, get some accurate phone numbers. So if you guys want to give that a shot, go for it. Just know that you get what you pay for. You're gonna have to pay for quality. That's what it really comes down to. There's a lot of free ways to do it, and you might luck out and do that. But if you want accuracy and really good data, you're gonna have to pay a premium for it. So these are the resources I've used. By far, this is the most expensive, but it's the most accurate because it's just from the credit reporting agency. So this is very accurate. It's just really hard to get, and it's a little pricey if you're not doing the bulk skips, the batching, like the bulk skip services for this. Need to Skip is really good. I think this is the best bang for your buck if you have a shorter list. If you have a bigger list, REI Skip is really good. So let's say 1,000 records, it's going to be $240. This one for 1,000 records is going to be $350. I've only used them once, and then REI Skip once, but they've both been really good as far as the data and the accurate phone numbers. Again, you're not going to get 100% accuracy as far as getting the numbers in return per record, but this is a good tool if you have a smaller list. If you have more bigger lists, I would recommend this. If you have 1,000 plus, I would recommend REI Skip. Let's see. Yeah, I would recommend REI Skip if you have a bigger list. Okay, and if you have a shorter list, like 100 plus records, if you have less than 1,000 records, I would recommend Need to Skip. If you have 1,000 plus records, I would recommend REI Skip. I have a link below to those resources and websites. And white pages, again, I've never personally used them. Oh, here it is, White Pages Premium. Let's see what that's about. Now I know you got to pay. I'm not sure what the price is, but like I said, I've heard people have some good results with this. I'm not sure what their price is, but essentially, again, you're gonna have to you get what you pay for. So I have the links below. Check them out. These are the best skip tracing services that I've used personally, and you're gonna get great results with these. You're gonna have to pay for data. You're gonna have to pay the premium for premium data. Free and skip tracing, they don't go well, because if it's free, it's probably not that accurate compared to the other paid services. So that's it, guys. I'll have a link below. Check it out if you want to.